Welcome to Subramani. The caveat first, I am as much part of the media as your channels and newspapers, etc. So when I say something good or bad about the media, please include me in the bad part. And so let's start. Whenever the media construct is such that constantly good journalists have to take bad decision on an hour to hour, minute to minute basis, very quickly they reconcile themselves to that. So here is a very well drafted resignation letter of Ariana Noel Peccary, Ariana Noel and Pekkary. So she was giving a personal resignation letter from MSNBC, which is, you have your CNBC, ET Now, all of them in the same genre. We are talking more about business media than about general media. But her resignation is just worth reading. Some parts of it are worth reading. So she hung around for a year and a half when she couldn't decide, and then she quit. And 24 July 2020, which is about a year back, was her last day at MSNBC. And she said, I don't know what I'm going to do, but she had quit her job. And then she said that she did not like because the problem was in the job itself. And she uses this term, it forces skilled journalists to make bad decisions on a daily basis. This is so true. You know what you're saying can be different from what you mean. If you are a good relationship manager, or you know that you may be called a wealth manager or relationship manager, but what you have is sales target. So you will do what is good for your company. Your company wants you. Your company could be a bank, it could be an insurance company, it could be a mutual fund. They will want you to speak a particular language. For example, today somebody is coming out with an equal weighted Nifty fund. What are they going to say? They're going to say, if there is a broad-based rally, your index gets biased towards some company. So 5 companies would be 40%. Whereas in our fund, 5 companies would only be 10%. Now, if it is true that equal weighting is good, then all the indexes in the world should be equal weighted. Why are they market cap oriented? Why are they subject market cap plus free float, right? But as an RM, you're supposed to say for total equal weightage is much better, simply because that is the product that you have to sell today. So let us see what all she goes on to say about this. Is a well drafted resignation. You can find it. Like I said, her name is Ariana, Ariana Noel. Ariana Noel. You go and search on Google, you will be able to find the resignation letter. So she says that it is possible that she was more sensitive to the editorial process because of her background in public radio, where no decision she ever witnessed was predicted on how a topic or a guest would rate it. So rating is definitely a problem. If I were worried as to how you would rate my every vlog or every podcast or every article that I write, I would be more careful. I would never say, look, you had no business buying that ULIP plan. Very many people say, मैंने ULIP plan खरीदा, क्या करना चाहिए? My question is very simple. Whom did you ask? When did you ask? Did you ask before you buy the product or after you bought the product? What is the point in saying my brother works in bank but I don't ever ask him? But people do that. People don't ask me before they buy. People don't ask me before they sell. People don't ask for anything. But after they do, after 2 months, 6 months, 8 months, when they find that they're in trouble, then they come and sheepishly ask me, what is the point? You've already done the deed, now you've got to enjoy, right? So she says whenever she was in broadcast, she never had to worry as to how people would react and how people would rate. But in television, she was worried about that. And she says behind closed doors, industry leaders will admit that the damage is being done. We are cancer and there is no cure, a successful and insightful TV veteran said to me. But if you could find a cure, that would change the world, right? And as it is typically like cancer, she says, even in the middle of a civil rights movement, and we were talking about something which is completely irrelevant, or we amplify fringe voices and events at the expense of others, all because it pumps up the ratings, which is true. Today it is easier for me to run a channel and criticize Narendra Modi or Yogi Adityanath, because I know I'll get a lot of intellectual support, and Arundhati Roy will love me, and I'll get more ratings because of that. Maybe Washington Post will mention my blog, and New York Times would do, somebody would do. Much easier to keep on criticizing, oh, India has done very badly in managing COVID. You are sure to get that better amplified. It is easier for me to do a post saying 5 top shares to buy, or why you should be buying Gillette today. Okay, change it to ITC, and everybody is doing it, right? So the question is, what is the noise that you want to make? So she says that cancer risks our democracy even in the middle of a presidential election. Any discussion about the election usually focuses on Trump, not on Joe Biden, simply because you know that Trump gets you more voting, right? More viewing. So she says, context, this is beautiful, context and factual data are often considered too cumbersome for the audience. So, bahut gyan mat do. There may be some truth to us. Our education system should improve the critical thinking. But another hard truth is the job of journalists is to teach and inform, which means they might have to figure out a better way to do it. This is sadly lacking. Try asking a journalist to read a SEBI circular. It is very difficult. One, SEBI excels at creating words and documents which nobody understands. 22-word sentences and 18-word sentences which we don't understand. I can't go beyond 7. But those, a journalist has to sit and read it. Instead, what the journalist does is calls up 4 people and says, oh, you head compliance, you do this, can you just tell me what do you think about this? And then, so obviously he or she will get some points talking. So talk to 4 people and that's your story, right? That's what, so she says occasionally the producers will choose to do a topic or a story without regard for how they think it will rate. But that's the exception, not the rule. But that I don't blame them, because somebody like me, to me it does not matter what you think, because I don't care about the rating. I don't care about what people will see, what people will watch. I still do my stories, good or bad. But my story which says top 5 shares to buy will get far higher thing than saying how to make a will, or why financial documentation is important, why checking your name in every document is important. These kind of articles don't get read. So blame yourself if you are not getting good quality content from the media. I'm continuing, and she says, I understand that the journalistic process is highly subjective and any group of individuals may justify a different set of priorities on a given day. But still the more exciting things will get caught, right? That is what will get. Raj Kundra makes a blue film and it will get publicity. But if somebody else were to make a film on something else, which was say documentary on the COVID impact in rural India, that will obviously not get the same viewership as what Raj Kundra will get. And Raj Kundra will get, because it will not be Raj Kundra, it will be Shilpa Shetty's husband, Raj Kundra, because Shilpa is perhaps more famous. So obviously Shilpa Shetty's husband who is in focus, and not Raj Kundra, who has made a movie or made a blue film. And producers will also then say that, oh, the people don't deserve good quality, this is what they deserve, this is what they should get. This is the same like Hindi movie or a Bollywood saying, अपना पब्लिक को तो यही ठीक है, तो यही चल जाएगा. So you make bad movies and you hope that people will buy it. Personally, I also think that people need to change. People need to pay money to get good content. Why should good content be free? You can afford it. You pay for everything else, right? You pay for good food. You don't go to Google and search the cheapest batata vada, where is it available? You go and ask somebody, Arey, that new batata vada shop has come, is it a good place to eat vada pav or whatever, idli, dosa, whatever, you change the context. But why do we think that we should go to the zero fee charging advisor? Why should you listen to me about which fund to buy, why can't you find an advisor and tell him, look, I'm going to pay you fees and I want good quality advice. That's it, as simple as that, right? So there's a beautiful sentence which he's quoting from James Baldwin. It says, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed unless it is faced, until it is faced. So that is true for mutual fund industry, that is true for the media, that is true for everybody else. So if you can spot this, and she also says, very soon I'm going to be seeking you out. Any one of you may also sense that news is fundamentally flawed and it is frustrating. This effort shall start informally, but I hope to crystallize a plan for that better, safer days are upon us. So we all realize the way media manipulates you. That is something which you have to worry about, and media gets manipulated by money. That is also true. So I get offers regularly for talking about some NFO which is coming or things like that, and there are people who are specialized in that, right? So if you're a mutual fund NFO, you have a media budget that has to be spent. So that is spent on bloggers, that is spent on channels, that is spent on media for hoardings and newspapers and all that. That's how it is spent. So some of that money falls on people like us also. So if I did an NFO saying, oh, therefore this is a great NFO, and it may be, but chances are very high that it is a sponsored ad. Thank you.